Imagine a world where your vote, your voice doesn't matter. That's the fear after the Senate's recent rejection of the Voting Rights Bill. It's a shocking development that could have profound implications for the upcoming midterm elections and, more importantly, for the very fabric of our democracy. This isn't just about politics. This is about people. It's about minority voters who may find their voices silenced by state laws that make it harder to vote. The John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act aimed to prevent such discrimination by restoring federal oversight of state voting procedures. The Freedom to Vote Act, meanwhile, was a more comprehensive measure designed to affect voter registration and the casting of ballots. But these bills, these safeguards for our democracy, fell short in the Senate. Their rejection has left some fearing that we are stepping back into a darker time when voting was a privilege, not a right. This is not a fear to be taken lightly. The right to vote is, after all, the cornerstone of any democracy. Yet, despite this setback, the fight isn't over. Democrats, civil rights leaders, even Vice President Kamala Harris have all pledged to continue their battle for voting rights. They recognize that this isn't just about one bill or one election. It's about ensuring that every citizen, regardless of their race or their background, has their voice heard. So where does this leave us? It leaves us in a world where the fight for voting rights is more critical than ever. It leaves us in a world where we must stay vigilant, where we must stay informed, and where we must continue to make our voices heard. Because in the end, our democracy is only as strong as the voices that shape it. The fight for voting rights continues, and we'll keep you updated as the story unfolds. From the Senate floor to the art gallery, let's turn our attention to the booming African art market. It's a market pulsating with talent, creativity, and notably, significant growth. The contemporary art scene in Ivory Coast and Sub-Saharan Africa is no longer a hidden gem, but a sparkling diamond attracting global interest. The spotlight is on rising stars such as Abdoulaye Diarra, also known as Abudia, whose vibrant and emotive paintings have been fetching prices that range from $47,000 to a staggering $180,000. One of his pieces even sold for an impressive $232,000, a testament to the increasing value and appreciation of African art. But it's not just Abudia. Other African artists are also making waves, like Ben Nwonwu, who has achieved record-breaking sales at international auctions. These artists are not just creating art, they are telling their stories, sharing their culture, and putting African art on the global map. Key players in the art world, such as Sotheby's, are recognizing this potential. Since 2017, their modern and contemporary African art auctions have broken 90 world records. It's a market that's thriving, driven by international sales and the interest of a young generation of collectors and artists. These passionate individuals are not just investing in art. They are investing in the rich heritage and future of African creativity. As African art continues to break records and capture global attention, we'll keep an eye on this vibrant and dynamic market. From art to economics, let's dive into the current market uncertainty and its potential impacts. The landscape of the economy is shifting, with analysts warning of market instability due to a hawkish Federal Reserve policy and historic inflation levels. This isn't just a minor tremor, it's potentially a seismic shift. The S&P 500, a market index that many investors look to as a benchmark, could see a fall of up to 17%. That's a significant drop that could leave many portfolios in the red. This market uncertainty isn't happening in a vacuum. Economist Mohamed El-Erian is predicting economic turmoil, even a possible recession due to the policy response to high inflation. That's a chilling prospect for many, as the memories of the last Great Recession still linger. Meanwhile, the Federal Reserve is preparing to hike rates. This move, while intended to curb inflation, can also have a domino effect on the economy. For instance, the 10-year Treasury yield, a critical indicator of long-term interest rates, has already surpassed 3%. That might not sound like a lot, but in the world of bond markets, it's a significant leap. So, how should investors navigate these choppy financial waters? Savita Subramanian, Bank of America's equity and quant strategist, suggests playing defense as recession risks rise. This could mean shifting towards more stable and traditionally less volatile investments, such as utilities or consumer staples. In these uncertain times, being informed is more important than ever. Economic fluctuations can be intimidating, but knowledge is power. Understanding the forces at play can help us make informed decisions and navigate the rocky terrain. Stay tuned for more economic news and analysis. Before we move on to our next segment, a quick word from us. We're committed to bringing you the most recent and relevant news from around the globe. If you find value in what we're doing, we'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button. It helps us reach more people and continue our work. And if you haven't already, do consider subscribing to our channel. You'll get instant updates whenever we post a new video, ensuring you're always in the know. In these rapidly changing times, staying informed isn't just important, it's essential. Your support enables us to continue delivering the news that matters directly to you. Thank you for your support. Now, back to the news. As we wrap up today's news, let's quickly revisit the stories we've covered. We started off with the shocking rejection of the voting rights bill by the Senate. Despite the relentless efforts of Senate Democrats, their aspirations to pass this key legislation ahead of the midterm elections have suffered a major setback. This development has raised concerns about the future of voting rights in the country, particularly in swing states where new measures are being proposed that could potentially make it harder for citizens to vote. However, the fight is far from over. Civil rights leaders, Vice President Kamala Harris, and the Democrats have pledged to continue their fight for voting rights. Switching gears, we delved into the world of art, highlighting the booming contemporary art market in Ivory Coast and Sub-Saharan Africa. Artists such as Saint Etienne Yenzi, Abdoulaye Diarasuba, and Ben Nwanwu are seeing their work skyrocket in value, with record-breaking sales at international auctions. This growth is largely driven by international sales and the interest of a new generation of collectors and artists. This surge in the African art market is a testament to the rich and diverse talent that the continent has to offer. Lastly, we tackled the current market uncertainty and its potential impact on the economy. With predictions of a possible recession due to hawkish Fed policy and historic inflation, market analysts are advising investors to play defense. Stocks are losing their appeal as an inflation hedge amidst weakening corporate earnings and soaring inflation. This economic turmoil underscores the importance of staying informed and making prudent financial decisions in these uncertain times. In the midst of these struggles and successes, we continue to witness the resilience and creativity of people across various sectors. From the relentless fight for voting rights to the dynamic African art market and the fluctuating economy, we're reminded of the ever-changing nature of our world. That's all for today's news. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you next time.